Hey everyone, this is Zeffy. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Zeffy back for another bi-weekly Kingdom Hearts card review. It's going to be week 16, and this week I'm going to do a review on a new card coming out in the next set, Light and Darkness, and that will be Ultima Weapon. It is plus 13 support value, 0 magic value, limit 1, and if you defeat any dark cards with this card, you draw 2 cards. If you go to Fantasy Flight Games and you see like the caption quote or comment that they leave on it, they say, really, this card speaks for itself, and I would have to agree. It's very straightforward, and it's pretty much, you should run it in probably any World Rush, definitely, most any aggro, because plus 13, even if you're using it for a challenge, is a lot of support value that you'll be giving yourself. You play it with a Riku level 3, well now you're at 20, so they're gonna have to come up with a lot to deal with that, even if they have like plus 8, like they have Leon, Tigger, even if they have, Jack level 3, or some other powerhouses on the field, they're still gonna have to throw in at least 2 cards, 2 friends if they don't have any attack cards in their hand, so it'll make them have to respond with a lot, especially if they're a lower level friend like a level 2 or a level 1. Although I wouldn't understand why they would want to challenge with the level 1 or try to throw in cards. Usually you play that in a World Rush, but really it's gonna make them use a lot of resources, and if they play a Heartless on your world, well, from what we've seen so far, most of the Heartless you can kill off except for some villains. Most of the villains are like 18 or 17 or 16 power, but still Ultimate Weapon with Riku or even a Sora with like level 1 like Merman, Sora like plus 5, it's still a lot. It's be 18 right there. You can kill off Hook. So I mean, it's an amazing card. And if you defeat a dark card, you draw 2. I mean, that draw advantage is fantastic. It's a built-in Bambi effect, built-in Pot of Greed. If for a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, basically draw 2 if you defeat any dark villain or Heartless. It's not specific to the type. It says any dark. So that's a general card type, which is awesome about this. So it's not going to matter if they come, down the road they come with alternate dark cards that are not villain or Heartless. Again, you defeat it with the Ultimate Weapon, you draw 2. So it's not going to matter what kind of type, or subtype I should really say, of that category of cards being dark cards. Under that umbrella, anything under that umbrella that you defeat with the Ultimate Weapon, you're going to draw 2. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, it's limit 1, but it's doesn't really matter. Oblivion is limit 1, and people are running that like crazy because of the plus 10. I would still even recommend that with Ultimate Weapon. Maybe not in every deck, but definitely having both is going to be powerful. I mean, can you imagine Ultimate Weapon and Oblivion? It's like, okay, why not? You're at 30 with the Riku level 3. It's pretty ridiculous. So keep that in mind. You definitely get a lot of support value out of it. In a lot of ways, the card's very basic. It's not complicated. Some like friend cards that have an effect. You have to think about timing, when to play it, when it's advantageous. When it'll net you the greatest advantage or yield you the greatest advantage, however you want to look at it. Ultimate Weapon's kind of straightforward. It's like throw it out, boom, anytime you want. You don't need to have a friend out to cast it. You don't need any magic support. And again, this is going towards what I've been talking about in the past few card reviews. I know I haven't been keeping up with them every day that I want to, but I'm going to try to get back on track with that. I apologize, but what I've been noticing, and you're seeing it more and more, is a lot of cards are getting geared towards non-magic effect cards like Ultima Weapon or the alternate Dawn and Goofy level 3, where you get draw power or you get effects out of other cards that are not magic cards that still give you some kind of advantage. And again, the set is looking to sort of turn away from, the whole like magic and even some attack cards. If you look on the website, you can see Sebastian level 0. Even though I'm not doing a review for it, I'll give you a brief description. The attack value of all attack cards is reduced to 0. So I mean that would affect Ultimate Weapon, but again, it's not. That's like only one card, but you have Phil, which locks down, your magic. So it's a little bit tougher dealing with a Phil than it is probably dealing with a Sebastian, because attack cards, you shouldn't be playing too many. I mean, you're playing 3 Soul Eater and an Ultimate Weapon and Oblivion, that's only 5 cards, versus you could be playing 6, 7, 8, 9, even some people might be crazy enough to play 10 magic cards depending on what deck type they have. So I think Phil is more feasible and viable than something that counters attack cards. Although attack cards do play a role, it can vary. Now, again, the format may change drastically with these new cards coming out, and maybe attack cards become more prevalent, and people are starting to pack their decks with it because they're easier to play now. Again, instead of worrying about getting locked out with their magic cards or magic friend cards or any other kind of lock control card that comes out, they can say, you know what, I can throw in attack cards and play them freely. I don't need friends out, so even if your opponent's eliminating your friends or controlling the board, you can still play attack cards without really no drawback. So you don't have to worry about having board presence to play Ultimate Weapon or Oblivion or Divine Rose or anything like that. So people will look at that, and maybe that's the way the format's gonna be geared towards. We'll see, as more cards get revealed, and once the set comes out and we have a deck list, and we see different people play testing. Hopefully we'll know then. But I know this review is probably a little longer than expected, but trying to make up for lost time in which I wasn't, posting reviews steadily. I'm going to try to fix that and get back on track, guys. I do apologize. I hope you liked this review, and I'll check back with you later. Thanks.